I've made upwards of like $400,000 from YouTube at just 19 years old, and if I had to start from zero today, this is exactly how I try and make passive income on YouTube. I'm not a guru that's trying to sell you a course. To be honest with you, I did this myself without luck, without viral miracles, and without even showing my face at the very beginning. This is a repeatable system that I've used on multiple of my own channels and my clients. All right, step one is to pick your niche. Most people get this wrong. If you mess up your niche, your entire channel is cooked. So this is very, very important. A lot of people online will tell you to pick the most profitable niche, but the reality is the most profitable niche is the niche that you can make the best videos in. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if the lawyer niche is gonna pay you $20 for every 1,000 views if you don't know anything about being a lawyer. For example, the reason that I made this channel where I teach people how to grow on YouTube is because I had grown a YouTube channel beforehand to about 30,000 subs and made some money off of it, giving me an advantage to actually make good videos. At the same time though, you do need to make sure your niche has at least some viewership potential, because if you pick a niche that is literally too specific, chances are no matter how good you make your videos, they're not going to get views. So figure out a few niches that you could do based on your interests and passions, and do a quick YouTube search to see if other people are making videos in these niches, and if they are getting views, chances are you can too. All right, step two is your video ideas. Top creators are not just guessing when it comes to their ideas. They know what's going to go viral before they even make the video. And the way you can do this is with a method we call the outlier validation. An outlier is a video that's basically overperformed on a video by a certain multiple. So if a channel averages like 10,000 views a video and a video gets 20,000 views, that video is a 2x outlier. And if a video is an outlier, there's some sauce that made that video do good. Usually it starts with the idea. So here's exactly how I'd come up with viral video ideas that are outlier validated. First, I would make a new YouTube account. You're gonna call this Your Name Research, like Nate Research. This is a burner YouTube account that we're going to use to come up with inspiration to make videos on our channel. If your YouTube homepage isn't just all videos in your niche, then simply just watch more competitor videos and train YouTube's algorithm to feed you inspiration. Once you've done this, you're then going to scroll through and screenshot any video from the last year that you think you can make on your channel. Then comes the fun part. We're gonna do outlier validation on each of these ideas. You're gonna go to a website called oneof10.com. It's free, and basically for each idea, you're going to search related terms to it to see if you can find other outlier videos that prove it's going to go viral. So for example, if you have a video that's like top 10 side hustles for teenagers, you're gonna look up side hustles, make money as a teenager, things like that that are just kind of related to your idea. And if you can find at least 4 outliers that are similar to your first video idea that were published within the last 6 months, so they're recent, or at least a 2x outlier, and have like, let's say 50,000 views minimum, chances are this is a viral video. If you can't find this and there's not a lot of outlier validation, chances are it was maybe just a fluke and you probably shouldn't risk making it on your channel. Do this like once or twice a month, at least 4 to 8 times over, so that you have at least 2 videos per week to publish if you want to grow fast and eventually make money. Step 3 is to make your titles and thumbnails for each of these ideas. Yes, you are going to do this before you even sit down to script, film, and edit your video. It is very, very important we do this first so that we have maximum flexibility with our titles and thumbnails. If we've already edited our video and the thumbnail and title become an afterthought, well, now we've basically just trapped ourselves. We can't like easily change the video to match a title and thumbnail that we think is really good. And if nobody clicks, nobody watches. So it is very, very important that you have a heavy importance on your title and thumbnail and make these first. What I would do for each of your ideas to come up with titles and thumbnails is look back at your research and the outliers that you've used to validate your concepts and simply see what they're doing with their titles and thumbnails. What patterns can you see? Are they using similar formats, layouts, word counts, etc., etc.? And basically come up with at least 3 titles and at least 3 different thumbnails so that you can later swap things out and test potentially. This is honestly the easiest way to do it without overcomplicating things. And you can use free tools like Photopea and Canva to make your thumbnails without having to pay. I use Photoshop, but it's pretty expensive. Step 4 is to script out your videos and film. It's honestly not that hard to script viral videos. I would not sit down on your computer and write things word for word. It can feel very overwhelming, especially if you're doing this for like 4 to 8 videos all at once. It's gonna suck. So what I would do is just open your phone, go to the voice memos app, and simply brain dump as much as you can on a certain subject, and then use AI to write your script. So for example, if I'm making that side hustles video, I might just yap to my phone. I might be like, all right, side hustle 1 is leaf blowing, blah, blah, blah. I would do this. I started this when I was 15, blah, blah, whatever. Like literally like no order. You don't need to worry about retention, organization. We're basically going to just brain dump and then feed the transcript into AI and tell it to write a script outline for us. The reason we do a script outline instead of a word for word script, it is much easier to speak when you're not just reading word for word, because humans write differently than they speak. It allows us to feel more like ourselves. We're not like a robot, like, oh, I'm reading a script. It's like, all right, I have a prompt, a bullet point. I'm just going to talk about what I know on this subject. It makes things feel more natural and more conversational. But what I would do with a script outline is write your hooks word for word. Your hooks are very, very important. The biggest drop off in any YouTube video is literally within the first 30 seconds. So you need to be absolutely obsessive with how you open your videos. Your hooks should basically first confirm your titles and thumbnails. So basically kind of work with any of the titles and thumbnails that you've created prior, and maybe even just say the titles word for word. For example, the side hustles video, I could literally start it off. These are the 7 best side hustles to start in 2026. Immediately confirming the clicks so that viewers don't click away and think that you're wasting their time. The other thing that I would do is give viewers any context that they may need. For example, if you're talking about side hustles, you need to tell viewers like why you're qualified to even talk about these. So it could be like, these are the 7 best side hustles I would start in 2026. I've personally made over $10 million in the last 2 years with these, and I started when I was just 13 years old. So if I can do it, you can do it too. Bang, right? That's like extra context. Maybe you add a little bit more after that if you want to add more context, but in general, I would keep your hooks like 15 to 30 seconds. You don't want to ramble on or you're going to lose people. You kind of want to just like get straight into the video. But I would script these word for word. I think the hooks are very, very important. Otherwise, stick to like a bullet point outline. Everyone has their own way of doing this, but keep it simple. Step 5 is editing. Again, don't overthink this. I would use either CapCut or DaVinci Resolve and literally just batch edit all your videos best you can after you filmed. There definitely is a tutorial, either written or video, on whatever you're trying to do. So Google is going to be your best friend here. And you're only going to get faster. Yes, it takes a lot of time to edit, but you kind of just got to roll with it if you eventually want to make money. Step 6 is to post. This is where most creators get stuck, because at the end of the day, if you don't post, you're never going to be able to make money, because no matter what you do, like your first videos will always suck, no matter how much you try to perfect them. The only real way to learn on YouTube is to post videos, get feedback from the algorithm, get feedback from your peers, and improve on these things as you keep putting in the reps. Definitely, I would recommend posting 1 to 2 times per week if you can keep up with it. Ideally, you do at this schedule so that you're able to actually grow. And then also you're just putting in a lot of reps, making a lot of videos so that you're able to get better at the things you need to get better at. Eventually, you are going to grow, which brings us to step 7. How do you make 10K a month? There's basically 3 things you should be doing on your channel with monetization to make this happen. The first is getting monetized through YouTube. This is where YouTube will pay you a certain dollar amount once you're in the YouTube partner program per 1,000 views on your video. This is usually between like $2 and $5. For example, on this channel, YouTube pays me like $3 per 1,000 views. So if I get 100,000 views on a video, I only get paid like $300. This is the smallest of the 3 income sources that you're going to use. The way you get monetized on YouTube is simply by posting and getting views. You need at least 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 public watch hours, which is the harder part of this. But it's pretty easy to get here if you just keep posting and keep growing and keep getting better. Source number 2, which is much bigger than YouTube AdSense, is sponsorships. A sponsorship is when a brand basically approaches you as the YouTuber and is like, hey, I'll pay you if you shout out our company or a product service within like the middle of your video for like 60 to 90 seconds usually. It's like when creators are like, by the way, before we go on, let me introduce you to generic VPN. I've personally made so many sponsorships. I've done editing programs, marketplaces, softwares, VPNs, you name it. I've done pretty much everything. And when you're like a mid-sized creator or even getting like your first like 1 to 5,000 subscribers, like this is where the real money comes, and this is how you like actually start making money on YouTube. Brands will pay you anywhere from like $15 to $30 per 1,000 views average on your channel. So if you're posting 4 times a month and you're getting 100,000 views, you could easily make 8K a month just like off rip. Combine that with the ad revenue, you basically have yourself 10K a month. That's how I was able to get there pretty fast with this channel when I blew it up. But there's a third income source that will actually not just get you to 10K a month, but actually get you way beyond it as well, which is super cool. And it's how the top creators on the platform are approaching YouTube and making like insane amounts of money. And that is selling your own service or product. This can be a course, a group coaching program, a software company, merch. Like there's so many different things you can do. Even look at a guy like Mr. Beast. He has merch, chocolate company, TV show. Like the possibilities to monetize once you have a large platform are endless. And this is where the money becomes like infinite. I've sold a course in the past. I've had my own agency, and now I post content for a brand called 1 of 10. So I'm actually selling the software. This is pretty much where YouTube turns into a business. And this is where the real money on YouTube is, right? Get views, get attention, and then monetize it in a way that is off platform. Maybe drive people to an email list and then sell them a course through the email list. Not saying you should just sell a course. Maybe you create a software company, and if you're making entertainment videos, you sell the app, the software to people that are watching your videos. The ceiling is literally endless. This is the way to really make money on YouTube. The best YouTubers are doing all three of these things. But however you're making money, you need to reinvest, which leads me on to step 8. This is how you scale. What you want to do with all the money that you're making, you're not going to go ball out and go buy a bunch of stuff. You should literally just first hire an editor, then maybe a script writer, then you should hire another editor so you can post more videos, maybe get some new editing software, maybe get some AI tools. The point is to continuously reinvest your money until you're at a point where you're like, all right, I'm chilling, like I'm making enough money, like this is great. Goes back to what I was saying about like turning YouTube into a business. You don't see most businesses just like one dude doing everything, right? You've got the CEO who's making the big decisions, and under him are employees that are actually doing the labor. Something like editing, when you get to a certain size, like you should just never do. It takes way too long. You'd be much better off filming more videos or making more content, or even just coming up with more video ideas. Whatever it might be, you need to basically try and buy back your time as much as possible. Even on a channel like this, I have multiple video editors. I've hired assistants in the past, and I do outsource as much as I can in order to buy back my time and actually live the life that I want to live at my current point in life. So as you make money, make sure that you're continuously reinvesting to make the experience better and leverage your time as well as you can. And those are the 8 steps to make 10K a month passively on YouTube as fast as possible. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments, and check out this video next.